Hey friends, and welcome to another day of Vlogmas. So for today, I'm going to talk to you about the tools that we have found incredibly useful on clearing our raw land by hand. We could not have been able to do it without some of these tools, and we do not have any kind of like tractors, bulldozers, or anything to help us out. We are literally doing every bit of it with our two hands. I mean, it's what you do when you have to work on a budget, and that's what you do when you have to work with just what you have. Now, for those of y'all who do not know, we have an off-grid homestead in South Carolina. It's just over 16 acres, and it was 100% wooded land. It was so thick, we couldn't even walk halfway back on our property before we purchased it because we couldn't get back there, and there was what looked like a swamp. If you have not seen our video about where's the swamp, I will link it up here and down below. But what we found out is it's not a swamp. However, the land was so thickly overgrown that we didn't know that. We could only go with what we could see, and that was it. So we wanted to go ahead and get the property and just deal with things as they come. But since buying this property, we have cleared out a driveway that is 36 feet across and over 225 feet long. We've also cleared out a home site and a place to put our raised bed garden is where we're currently working on. We have also cleared out an area for a septic tank and a leach field. So we have gotten a lot of land cleared since buying this property. Like I said, we don't have any heavy machinery to use to do this. We're literally using tools in our own two hands, and that's it. But you can do that too. It just takes a little extra hard work to get it done. I wanted to share with y'all today what tools we have found useful in clearing this land. That way, if you're in the same position as us and you need to clear raw land by hand, you would know what tools you need or what you may already have to get the job done. So all the tools that I'm going to name for you, I'm going to try to also link down below in the description box so you can click on the link and see what tool it exactly is and what the price point is of it and all that stuff. These will be Amazon links. We are Amazon affiliates, so if you purchase through our link, it doesn't cost you any money, but we get a commission off of it. It's just one way you can support our channel that does not cost you anything. I just want y'all to know that. So if you don't use our links, I'm okay with that too. I'm just linking it so you know what it is. So I'm sure you can probably already guess this, but the number one tool we have used to clear our raw land is the chainsaw. Now our chainsaw is a Husqvarna. That's the brand that Kenneth really likes. But when we bought a chainsaw specifically for clearing raw land, we went with one that had a big motor and a long bar on it because we needed one that could handle taking down big trees. So if you're clearing raw land with a chainsaw, make sure you get one big enough to handle the job. You don't want to get some little bitty thing trying to cut down a tree. It'll be like trying to cut down a tree with a steak knife. It makes no sense, right? So go ahead and get the tool you need to get the job done. Now the tool that may surprise some of those who have not watched our channel, because if you've watched our channel, you've seen me use this more than once, but the number 2 tool used to clear our raw land are tree trimmers. Like seriously, these things have cut down so many small trees, like brush, vines, things like that. They have been a lifesaver in clearing raw land. We had to go out and get more sets because we've used them so much. I literally clear all kinds of things with these tree trimmers. So if you are clearing raw land, I know it sounds silly at first, but go ahead and get you some. You're going to use them. It's amazing. Our number 3 items that we would not clear raw land without would be our sledgehammer and the felling wedges. The first few trees that we tried to do without these, they didn't fall right or they became way too dangerous to take down correctly. So use the felling wedges and a sledgehammer to get the tree falling in the direction you need it to go. That's pretty important. So please make sure you have these on hand when you are clearing raw land. It is awesome, they're not expensive, and they come in so handy. So just go ahead and spend a little bit of money and get these. They'll be a lifesaver for you. The next thing that has come in handy with us with clearing raw land is the weed eater. Not just for clearing grasses and stuff, but the briar patches, the really thick, viney, pokey things that are just tearing you up when you try to get in there and cut them down. Kenneth has been using the weed eater to knock back all of the thin stuff so that I can get in and cut down the trees that are holding them up. I mean, at first we didn't even think about using the weed eater for the job, but once we used it, I would not go back to not using the weed eater. It has literally come in so handy. I highly recommend you bring in your weed eater when you're clearing raw land. They do have brush cutters for the weed eaters that help you, but we just use some really tough weed eating string, and that has worked for us. Now, the number 5 thing that we use for clearing raw land, you may be able to hear in the background, and that is the mulcher. It's one thing to clear land and have all of this brush and stuff you've cut down, but what do you do with it? I mean, seriously, we have so much brush. Y'all just don't even know the amount of brush that is on this property, and we have a mulcher. It's just, as fast as Kenneth can get it mulched, we're adding back to it. Now, mulch is great for use in garden beds. You can use it on the ground. It decomposes, put it in your compost, whatever. It is so handy to have. But when you can take huge, ginormous piles of brush and break them down into little piles of mulch, much easier to deal with. Highly recommend, if you are clearing raw land, to get you a mulcher. So when you are buying Christmas gifts, if you know somebody who is clearing raw land, or if you're clearing raw land as a family or whatever, think about each of these things and think about the accessories that can go along with it that would make wonderful Christmas gifts for these people. They are useful gifts that this person is going to use over and over, and you know will not sit in a closet and hide around somewhere. Hate Christmas gifts like that. Like, seriously, guys. So think useful. If you know that they're clearing raw land, maybe find out what kind of chainsaw they're using, buy them an extra chain or some oil to go on the bars for the chainsaw. That's always handy. If you know they've got a weed eater and they're using it, maybe find the brush cutter blade that goes on the weed eater. That can save them a lot of time. Maybe pick them up a pair of tree trimmers. They have these at Walmart and Lowe's. This is our favorite brand. This Fiskars, like, highly recommend this. These are so handy with clearing land. A nice set of work gloves is another gift you could do. If they've got a mulcher, think about finding a bag to go on the mulcher that collects all that mulch. That has been super handy for us. You may think these are silly gifts, but to a family who is clearing raw land by hand and working off a budget, that gift may be the best thing to receive all year, because it lets them know that you're paying attention to what they're doing and you care about what they're doing, and you're there to support them. If you can give a Christmas gift that says all that, I mean, how could that not be cherished by somebody? So, if you've cleared raw land, or you know somebody who's clearing raw land, and they use one of these tools, or maybe they have a tool that they like even better, let me know what it is. Put it down in the comments below. But our Vlogmas question of the day is, what is your favorite Christmas gift that you've ever been given? Maybe it's something you were given as a child that you still think about to this day. Maybe it's something you got as an adult. And my favorite Christmas gift probably is my ring that Kenneth got me. I got this 2 years ago as a Christmas gift because after I had Declan, my wedding band didn't fit anymore. And I needed a new ring. The one that I had was a family heirloom. It had already been sized once, and I didn't want to size it again and risk messing it up. So I got a new ring for Christmas. That's a pretty awesome Christmas gift to me, not only because it's beautiful, but because Kenneth understood there was a need that I had, and he filled it for me. I made my Christmas a little more special. So let me know what your favorite Christmas gift is that you've ever gotten down below in the Vlogmas question of the day. Bye now. See y'all tomorrow.